Okay, how to secure the network? Okay. So there are multiple layers of security that cloud providers are giving. This is the conceptual, and you can keep high level of this one understanding. Okay, there are various levels of securities is given. It starts with top to bottom. It's a physical security, physical layer security, and then identity and access, perimeter, network, compute, application, and the data level. Okay, and this is how the responsibility models has been divided between the user and the cloud provider for the securities. And then this is the Azure firewall. Okay, so the Azure firewall, this will helpful to control the inbound and outbound traffics. Okay, also there is an Azure application gateway which also provides it is also a part of a firewall called the web application firewall, where the web application firewall provides you the centralized inbound protection of your web application against any common exploits and vulnerabilities. Okay, so basically, this firewall will helps you to apply inbound and outbound traffic to filtering the traffic rules. Also, you can use this for the monitoring purpose. Okay. And then DDoS, as I said, DDoS attacks was it's exhaust the network resources, making apps slow or unresponsive. So the DDoS will sanitize the unwanted network traffic before it impacts the service availability. The example we've seen is one supermarket. There are they are all not the actual customer. They just filled the supermarket. Okay, we want to sanitize them. Then the DDoS will help. Okay. Then the next one is network security group. It filters the network traffic to and from the Azure resources on Azure virtual network. Okay. And then application security group. Okay, it's nothing but it allows you to reuse your security policy at a scale without manual maintenance of the IP address. Okay. Basically, the ASG provide for the grouping of servers with similar port filtering requirements and group together servers with similar functions, okay, such as web server. So together all this, okay, the firewall, web application firewall, DDoS, okay, everything you can get as a network security solutions, okay. So next one is identity service. So how the cloud is identifying us, whether this is Ganeshan or this is machine or what, how the cloud is identifying, okay. So to identify a user, there are two security code namings they used, authentication and authorization. See, please remember all this why we are discussing because of your certifications. Okay, you are not going to implement any of this. That's why I'm just moving fast. And this is for required for to understand how your ecosystem works. Okay. So review the authentication versus authorization, and we are going to just, I'm introducing the Azure Active Directory and the Azure multi-factor authentications. Okay. There are two concepts in the security. One is authentication, another one is the authorization. So basically this authentication is identifies the person or service seeking access to the Azure resources. Okay. So for that, they need to request legitimate access credentials. This is basis for creating secure identity and access control principles. Okay. And then the authorization, this authorization determines an authenticated person or service level of access. Okay. In simple layman language, understand, imagine there is a college or there is an organization. You need to enter into that building. There is a security at the gate. Okay. He will see your ID card. Whether you are employee of this company, then he will allows you to enter into the building. That is called authentication. Then once you entered, there may be a multiple meeting room, there may be a multiple lab, multiple floors. You are authenticated to allow only certain floors, not all floors. Okay, that is called authorization. In simple terms, what is authentication? Who are you? To find the answer for who are you, that is authentication. And what is authorization? What you can do, what you are allowed to do. Okay, that is authorization. How to implement all this with the help of Azure Active Directory. Let's take even a company, if it's an administrator, they have more privilege. You are a developer, you have a less privilege. Okay. So how they distinguish with the help of the authorization. Okay, so we need to remember this too from exam perspective. Okay, so Azure Active Directory. So this is slightly differ from the actual Active Directory. Okay, Azure Active Directory is dedicatedly built for the cloud purpose. It is not same as the actual Active Directory. Okay, so the Azure Active Directory, it will authenticate who is signing on. Also, this Azure Active Directory offering the single sign-on, application management, B2B management, business to customer, and the device management. All these Azure Active Directory can able to do it. Okay. And then multi-factor authentication. See, remember, we are just saying what is it to answer the exams. Okay. So sometimes something, right? I mean, multi-factor authentication is more than one way to authenticate you. Okay, the first way is people usually use the password, enter your password. Okay. In general, multi-factor authentication, the concept is like this. There could be a password or the answer to a security question, and then something you possess. Okay, that may be your mobile app or receive a notification or something you are. Okay, or some example is some biometric property. Okay, basically this multi-factor authentication will do in three major perspective. Something you know, okay, something you know, something you possess, and something you are. Okay, this way only they do. In simple terms, you all today using the OTP for your banking, right? So that is called multi-factor authentication. After you enter your password, they will send an OTP to via SMS to your mobile phone. To implement all this in 3 years back, the people write a code in Java or Python. They write a code and they add this in application. But today's, you no need to write any single line of code of that. You just integrate Azure Active Directory service in your application. That's all. Then automatically that will take care. Okay. So in short, in core Azure Identity Service, only these two, authenticate and authorization. For that, you need to use a service name Azure Active Directory. Okay. So basically it allow us to maintain a security perimeter even outside our physical control with a single sign-on and appropriate role-based access configurations. Okay. So this is what you have learned in this model. The next one is the security tools and the features. Okay. This also just I will go quickly and just explain you what is it. Okay. As I said, this all only from the exam perspective. So there are three things in security. See, now I have my Azure services. I have username password, but still I want a centralized monitoring center to prevent any kind of an hacking, virus attack, everything, right? So for that, there is an Azure Security Center service or product is available in Azure, which handle all your security requirement at the centralized location. And then there is another service called Azure Key Vault, which is a password manager. Today you have so many accounts, so many usernames. How do you maintain your password? For that, Azure Key Vault will use. And the last one is Azure Information Protection and Threat Protection. See, 3 years back, if I'm working inside company, I can take all the company information sent to my email or take USB. Okay, all copy. Okay, but that is not an, that is not the correct activity what the employee used to do, right? But there is no way the company can protect that. So only thing what they does is they disable the USB port, but still the employees are taking some of the key documents, informations via email. How to protect? But after this cloud, okay, you can easily protect everything. Even you can prevent the employee to send any documents via email, or even you can see that what documents they are sending. Okay. And
Can
what,
we
yeah.
can we capture this guest users or aliases users authentications, whatever the authentications or authorizations he having? So can we capture and we can enter into the databases?
Yeah,
By
you can capture. Still,
if you don't have an authorization person to enter into the database,
uh-huh.
so we can able to enter into the database, right, by using this aliases users or as guest users.
Yeah, you can do that. Totally, you can able to do it. Okay, in cloud, that's the beauty. See, earlier days, for example, imagine you are an employee of Infosys. Okay, your project is an Bank of America. Okay, so earlier days, once you join that project in Bank of America, they create a separate username, password, email for you. Correct, and you need to use a separate password. But today, you no need to create all those things. You just add, for example, you are Cognizant employee. Vidyasagar at Cognizant employee is a guest user in Bank of America. So your validation will be happen that you are Cognizant. Once it validated, you can access all Bank of America resources, database, everything. That's totally possible, and you no need to do any special development or something. You just use Azure Active Directory. That's all. Did you understand that? See, earlier case, they create the password, and the password, your password, secondary password will store in the Bank of America database. Now it will not store that. It will store, I mean, only one username, but I can add it with the multiple organizations. Okay. See, now if you understand all this, then you know you will get better clarity why all companies are going cloud and why all should go cloud. Otherwise, they will become invalid. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I coming back that. So the documents, right? You have a lot of internal company documents. If the company wants to protect that, they can classify it as a classified document. Then you can't able to allow. I mean, you are unable to send any this document via email. Also, if you send, it will automatically remove the attachment. Okay. Also, it will monitor the Azure information protection. It will monitor if you are sending something suspiciously outside of another domain, it will block you. Also, it will intimate to your the security team. There is some kind of an vulnerability like that. Then they will lock your account immediately. After, I mean, having a discussion with only they will unlock. Before all, no one can able to monitor you. What are you doing inside your laptop? But today they are monitoring everything. What are you doing there?
Yeah.
So that's all possible because of this one, this cloud guys. Okay. So Azure Security Center. So basically, you need to know what is this. Okay. So Security Center is nothing but it provides threat protection across all your Azure and on-premise services. Okay. So also the Security Center will recommend some of the securities and it monitors security setting, automatically applies your policies. Okay. So Azure Security Center, it is an intelligent tool. What it will does is it detect the security or vulnerability issue, it assess, it diagnose, stabilize, and close it. Okay, that is what the Azure Security Center used to do. Then the Key Vault. Key Vault is nothing but, as I said, it is a password manager. Okay, it stores application secrets. Is nothing but password. It stores application secrets in a centralized cloud location to securely control access permission and access logging. Okay, secrets management, key management, certification management, storing secrets, everything. Okay. So create an Azure. So Key Vault is nothing but it's a password manager, as I said. Okay, I don't want anything on that. Azure Information Protection. Okay, if a company implement these services, it automatically using rules and conditions defined by the administrator. Okay, so it, as I said, if you are sending any document, you are downloading some document to your local laptop, automatically this will trigger, you may not aware, but it will send the alerts to the security team. Okay, it's a kind of a suspicious activities this employee is doing, like that. Then there is an Azure Advanced Threat Protection Service. See, in exam, they will ask, what is Azure Information Protection? What is Azure Threat Protection? Also Azure Key Vault. All this, each thing, what is this service? What is this service? This question will come. Okay. So Azure Advanced Threat Protection. Okay. It is a cloud-based security solution for identifying, detecting, and investigating advanced threat, compromised identities, and malicious inside. Okay, dedicated portal for monitoring and responding to suspicious activity. Sensors installed directly onto your domain controller. Cloud service runs on Azure infrastructure. Okay, so basically this advanced threat protection will safeguard all your resources from malicious or malware functions. Okay, so it will safeguard you. So you need to know all these three services. 3 questions are there in the exam. So the summary of this model, this model is only introductory. Security is a deep and complex topic. So whatever your cloud approach on ongoing security, education is necessary. Okay. So here we just seen what is security center, what is key vault, what is information protection, what is threat protection. Just again, I'm summarized. Security center is nothing but a centralized portal where you can see the strength of your security in all your Azure resource. Key vault is nothing but a password manager. And then Azure information protection is nothing but protecting your information like a Word document, Excel document, PowerPoint. And the last one is the threat protection. It is an advanced threat feature. Okay. So then the governance. See, as I said, yeah, this governance onwards is just as an full of theory. I don't want to take more because like also not there. So I can stop here today. And most likely the next class, once I finished that governance and the security, I can start give you the practice exams. Okay. Any questions here? Pratush?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in the certification exam, do we have any practical session or it is completely like MCQ?
No, completely MCQ, no practical.
Okay.
Completely MCQ.